How's it going, everyone? This is Trixx from Meta of Smash, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to play Terry, but more specifically how to play Terry's neutral and make your opponent have to play around your strengths. So when it comes to Terry's neutral, he has an incredibly good ground game, very fast movement, and one of his most powerful tools is his jab. He has a frame 3 jab that can cancel into special moves that deals a ton of damage. Mixing his quick movement along with mastering his special inputs is going to be Terry's main bread and butter in neutral. Terry's jab cancel power dunk is one of his best bread and butters that deals a great amount of damage and is very non-committal. This entire demonstration is being done with stale moves on, and you can see that after only 3 exchanges, your opponent is just about at kill percent. Of course, many other exchanges will happen during the course of the match, but take a look at the fact that this will deal 77 damage just by getting 3 landed jab confirms. And depending where your opponent is standing, some attacks will start to kill around this percent. Your other main tool in neutral is going to be Terry's Power Wave. This is a very tall projectile that travels along the ground and is great at stuffing out approaches and forcing your opponent to jump. As great as this tool is, I want to mention that you cannot spam multiple projectiles at the same time. There can only be one on the stage at a single time. Power Wave also has 2 different variants, a light input, which is smaller and travels a little bit slower, and then also a hard input, which is much faster and a little bit taller. Their variance in damage is not very substantial, however, their variance in speed is what is going to make this a very special tool in neutral. With enough practice, you may even be able to throw off your opponent's timing so that they burn their double jump on stage and you can get free punishes. And thanks to Terry having such a good ground game, he is also complemented with quite a few very good anti-airs. Those of course being up tilt, up smash, and crack shoot. Each of these moves has their own special use, but in my opinion, his best anti-air in neutral is going to be his up tilt because it has intangibility on his arm. This means that characters that love to approach with Nair, such as Fox and Wolf, are going to have a very hard time landing on Terry. This move also sends your opponent into tumble at 0 and has very minimal knockback at high percent, so it can combo into other moves. You're going to want to try and use this move a lot more at low percent to rack up damage, and then go for up smash at high percent to seal out the stock. I also want to mention that both up smash and crack shoot do not have intangibility on their hitboxes, so they can be beaten out. On midweights, heavyweights, and fast fallers, Terry has the ability to use his down tilt, forward throw, and back throw to do incredible tech chasing. I covered this topic in an earlier video talking about how even if they do tech, you have the ability to catch them with a down tilt. So although this is not a true setup, it does not rely on a missed tech, and if you have good reflexes, you can capitalize very heavily. But the main things you're going to be looking for are Power Wave, jab, down tilt, and using good movement to capitalize on Terry's best neutral tools. Terry's forward tilt can be used to stuff out many approaches as it has full intangibility on his leg. You'll also notice too that if you spam it, you will move forward. So what you're going to want to do is counterbalance that by slightly walking backwards and using your forward tilt at the same time so that you can stay more stationary and in place. I wouldn't necessarily use this as a main strategy in neutral, but this can come in handy when ledge trapping. Terry's side special Burn Knuckle is a powerful long-range move that can actually set up for tech chasing. However, I would save this as a bait and punish move. I say this because it can be blocked and punished quite hard if your opponent is ready for it, and there's also a flash which indicates that you are about to do this move. Terry's dash attack can also be used to punish unsafe approaches with a little bit less commitment. This move is mostly for racking up damage, as it doesn't have the most kill power. It can give you good stage positioning, and at very high percents you might get a kill from it, provided that your opponent has very poor DI. When it comes to Terry's out of shield option, he has a very poor variety of useful moves. Since his short hop is rather high, it is quite difficult to actually land any of his aerials on the majority of the cast. And even if you do land an aerial out of shield, his special cancel attacks are not quite quick enough to actually make it into a true combo. However, with all that being said, Terry is equipped with his own special mechanic, Spot Dodge Counter. You can do this by pressing the A button during your spot dodge animation and you will automatically throw out an up tilt. It's also worth mentioning that you'll have intangibility during the entire spot dodge and counter attack animation. Except with this special up tilt, it's not just on his arm, but rather his entire upper body. The only drawback to this mechanic that I can see is that it is very difficult to drop shield or spot dodge and input a different move without accidentally doing the counter attack. This makes all of his untrue out of shield options much slower. And so because of this, trying to perform Terry's down special or forward special out of shield is impossible. I'm not saying it'll never work, but looking to these moves as burst options out of shield is sadly not viable. The only special that Terry can do out of shield is Rising Tackle, and as you can see, it does not have any kill potential even at 170%. It is possible to do Terry's Rising Tackle special input out of shield, but doing this input is very slow and it actually does not have that much kill power. Although it is much easier to do just from standing, the kill power itself is very underwhelming. It may come in handy on the top platform on Battlefield, but honestly, your best out of shield option looking for a kill is going to be up smash. At low mid percents, Dare out of shield can actually set up for a tech chase, which can give you some pretty solid damage. This is by no means a true combo, but you have to go for a tech chase rather than trying to go for a cancel special attack, because the launch angle does not allow for such a follow-up. Next we're going to be talking about Terry's aerials, and honestly, I don't consider them to be that great when it comes to Terry's neutral, but they can do some pretty impressive stuff if you do happen to land them. All of his aerials have pretty short range, but if you do happen to do a short hop landing aerial, many of them can convert into more special moves and get pretty decent damage. Terry's rising back air is probably his most useless move in neutral because he simply jumps much too high to hit many of the characters in the cast. If you are ever landing this move in neutral, it is most likely because you've already conditioned your opponent heavily to jump or you are making a hard read. Terry can also cancel his up air into other special moves, but this is a very difficult thing to land and I wouldn't suggest going for it regularly. Going for landing up air into special moves is more often than not worth the risk. And lastly, we're going to talk about Terry's comeback mechanic, Go Mode. When Terry reaches 100% or above, he gets the ability to unlock 2 more special inputs that are very powerful. And unlike KO Punch or Cloud's Limit, you have the ability to use these moves as many times as you want without falling out of this special mode. These specials should almost always be used as part of a confirm. Both forward tilt and up tilt can give you access to these attacks as true combos. Trying to land these attacks raw is not impossible, but I would definitely save it for a bait and punish. Your best bet when trying to land these moves is to try and play very patiently and very safely. And for anybody that played Smash 4, you know how terrifying this setup used to be. If you saw Ryu walking around doing up tilt, you knew it was impending death at any given second. And with that is going to be it for the video. If you are new here, please be sure to subscribe as we are going to be dropping a ton of Terry guides. And once again, this is Trixx from Meta of Smash, and thanks for watching the video.